There's this invisible force that shapes our biggest life decisions, and most of the time, we don't even see it happening. It's a hidden trap, and today we're going to drag it out into the light, see what it is, and figure out how to avoid it.
So let's start with a feeling I bet you've had before. You make a choice that looks absolutely perfect on paper. The right job, the right partner, moving to the right city. But deep down, something just feels off. Why is that? Why do good choices sometimes feel so wrong?
Well, a lot of the time, the answer comes down to one single word: status. Our source material really defines it as this invisible trap that sits underneath so many of our bad decisions. It's not about who you are, it's about how you appear to other people.
And listen, this isn't some abstract idea. Status hides in the biggest, most tangible parts of our lives. It's that prestigious career that you actually hate. It's the relationship that looks amazing on Instagram but feels totally empty. It's moving to a city for the cool factor, or buying stuff just so other people will be impressed.
Okay, so what's the big deal? What makes chasing this stuff so dangerous? Let's dive into why this pursuit of status is a game you literally cannot win.
I love this metaphor because it just nails it. Status is like looking in a mirror, but it's a funhouse mirror. It's distorted. It doesn't show you your true self. It only reflects back how you seem to the rest of the world. It becomes this cheap substitute for a real identity.
And here's the real problem. Living for status turns your entire life into a performance. You're always on stage, playing a part for an audience that, let's be honest, is never ever going to be satisfied.
And this constant performance, it starts to hijack our internal monologue. The most fundamental questions we ask ourselves get twisted. We stop asking, what feels true to me? And instead, the first thing we think is, what will they think?
And it keeps going. The question shifts from, does this actually matter to me, which is all about personal meaning, to, will this impress people, which is purely about external admiration.
And this is the most crucial part. We trade our own vision of our life for this hollow reflection. Instead of asking if a choice aligns with the person we truly want to become, we get stuck asking if it will just make us look successful. The bottom line is, when you live through the eyes of others, you lose your own sight.
But here's the other big danger. This game is endless. There's no finish line. No matter how high you climb that ladder of status, there's always another rung. There's always someone with more money, more admiration, more power. There's simply no ceiling.
This quote from our source just says it all, doesn't it? It is a race without a finish line. And trying to win an unwinnable race, well, that's just the fastest way to completely exhaust your soul.
So if this trap is so obviously bad for us, why do we keep falling for it? Well, it's because of how it hides. It doesn't show up sounding shallow or vain. No, it disguises itself as the voice of reason.
Ever heard this little voice in your head? This job will look good on my resume. Sounds pretty smart, right? Strategic, even.
Or how about this one? Everyone my age is buying a house or getting married. It just feels like you're keeping up, doing the normal thing.
And this one, I need a better title if I want to be taken seriously. That just sounds like a practical career move.
And then, maybe the most dangerous one of all, this relationship just makes sense on paper. That's the logic of your mind completely overriding a feeling in your heart.
You see what's happening here? This is the key. The voice of status is a master of disguise. It almost never sounds shallow. It sounds reasonable. And that is exactly what makes it so powerful and so incredibly hard to spot.
So, if status is this trap disguised as reason, how in the world do we escape? Well, the antidote is to learn how to live from the inside out. Here are 5 steps to help you find that freedom. But before we jump into the list, I want to give you the single most powerful tool you can use. This is the ultimate test for any decision, any desire. Just ask yourself this one simple question. Would I still want this if absolutely no one would ever know I had it? Think about that. If the desire just evaporates without an audience, it was never really yours to begin with. Okay, so building on that powerful test, here are the 5 key steps. Number 1, always use the ultimate test question. Number 2, listen to your body seriously. Status choices tend to feel restless and anxious, while authentic ones feel grounding and calm. 3, choose true connection over admiration. Being known is so much more nourishing than just being admired. 4, go for quiet meaning over hollow optics. And finally, number 5, Keep your life smaller than your ego wants. That's where you find the real peace and freedom.
So, when you boil it all down, it really comes down to a choice between two totally different ways of building a life of performance or a life of meaning.
And this just illustrates the difference perfectly. A life that's built on status is like standing in a fragile spotlight. Yeah, it feels great for a moment, but that light can move at any second, leaving you completely in the dark. But a life built on meaning? That's like a solid anchor. It holds you steady, no matter what kind of storm the outside world is kicking up.
Let's close this out with this incredibly powerful reminder. Your worth should never, ever be outsourced to a temporary audience. I mean, think about it. The only person who is with you from the absolute beginning to the very end is you. So that leaves us with one final choice. It's a metaphor to carry with you. Are you going to spend your precious energy chasing status, basically chasing the wind, or are you going to build a life of substance and meaning with your feet planted firmly on the earth? The choice, as always, is yours.